They don't know who they are anymore, and they've got no sense of worth or reason for being. They don't know what they're about. They don't know why they exist or why they're here. And in some ways, that lends itself to that final piece that Ren speaks at the end. Hey everyone, welcome to Samcliffe Talks. Today I'm going to be listening to a duet by Ren and Chinchilla, and having listened to Chalk Outlines, this is one that's been hotly anticipated and heavily requested by many of you to really take a deep dive into How to Be Me. And so I'm going to be looking at the live version today. And if any of you listening are new to the channel, then I often respond to these songs from a mental health perspective based on my own lived experience. I'm not a professional in the industry, but I am someone who's got a lot of personal experience that I tend to lend to my reactions. So with that said, let's go. This is a really different setup to Chalk Outline. Stripped back. This is the performance. No narrative, no setting, just sitting down. Raw talent here. Haunting.
I don't feel safe in this bed. There are voices in my head. I've been talking to the dead, and the fear baptized me. My kingdom turned to dust, and I watched all my riches rust. Have I lost the Midas touch, or do sad eyes blind me? Over and over we go, over the hills and the valleys below. Oh, and it follows me home, and it suffocates me.
There was a lot in that. There was a few lines in this that just stood out to me. The bit where he mentions talking to the dead, as if that's what people do. And sad eyes blind me? That creates a picture in my head of when you're in that low mood and your emotion is so negative and deep and dark that you could kind of look through a blurred lens at the world because you've got a predetermined outlook and an attitude towards everything, and you don't see things for what they are sometimes, like something that's genuine or something that's well-meaning or a good experience that you're having. You see it as something that you're tolerating or something that's just numb to you, really, like emotionally. So that line really stands out to me, and I guess that's my depression kicking in there, really, that just negative way of seeing the world. But their ability to they're like intertwining with each other in this and overlapping their lyrics, but giving each other space to sing without without clashing or without going over each other. It's very delicately woven together, this, and at times I think they're sort of singing different lyrics or complementing each other's sentences, and it's wow, yeah. Let's keep going.
And it suffocates me. No, I can't breathe. I said, oh, I can't breathe. All I know is I forgot how to be me.
And that haunting, there's a real haunting quality with Chinchilla, the way she kind of goes up the notes there, and the silence, that kind of space that's given for it to just sit. It's powerful. Sometimes perhaps it's less about the effort that you're making, and it's about allowing space for that meaning and that quality to just exist. Let's keep going. I'm going to talk a bit less now. Let's let them run a bit.
I forgot how to be me. I don't feel safe in these halls. There are bruises on the walls. There are bodies in the floors, and they breathe so loudly. I wish I could move, get up and walk right out this tomb. Do our saviors die too soon? For my sins surround me. Over and over we go.
I need to break there. I'll skip it back. My sins surround me, and they were talking about the bruised walls, the bodies in the floor, and they're in a tomb. It makes you think, they're in a tomb, but is it a metaphorical tomb, not an actual tomb, and bodies in the floor, and they breathe so loudly, so they're not dead. Are they ghosts? Is it? There's something going on there. There's something there, but the visuals that this kind of conjures up it's dark stuff, and it's symbolic, and it could mean several different things. I don't feel like this is a literal telling of that imagery that they've given there, but yeah, just makes me think of old like gothic horror novels kind of vibes going on. You just need a creaky door and creaky floorboards and those sorts of things, a gust of wind through, and you're kind of set there with the scene. Again, there's this atmosphere, I think, between them that kind of imagery just complements the performance and vice versa. Wow. Okay, let's keep going.
Too soon for my sins surround me. Over and over we go. Over the hills and the valleys below. Oh, and it follows me, follows me, follows me, and it suffocates me. I can't breathe. I said, oh, I can't breathe. All I know is I forgot how to be me. Hallelujah. Where is my God? Where are you? how to be me.
Where is my God? Where are you? And looking up to the sky, they're outside as well, just really poignant. And it goes from they're singing to each other to they're expressing outwards. I get that sense that there's a longing in their voices, especially Ren. And I think that just because he's in the lower range compared with Chinchilla, I think that there's just a pining and a longing for change and difference. And then it makes me think of Ren's backstory in itself with his health. I'm lost for words at the minute. I'm struggling to find the right words just because of the way it lands, the way it hits. So I'm gonna skip it back slightly, and then we'll run to the end.
I forgot how to be me. When he gave up the fight, a quick decision late in the night that stayed with me for all of my life. I miss you so.
Ooh, I wonder if that's Joe he's talking about. One of his friends that took his own life. And Ren talked about that in one of his chapters. I can't remember exactly which one now. I want to say chapter 3, but I can't be for sure off the top of my head. And, you know, it deeply affected Ren. And I wonder if this song was written, with that reference there, I wonder if the song was written around that time or with thoughts of Joe. There's meaning in that. There's meaning in that. And it makes you shift from thinking about how to be me, and you've got Ren and Chinchilla like singing that same song as if they are one. And then you've got this point at the end where Ren's referencing Joe. That's an incredibly deep song. I'd go as far as saying I think this, for me, tops Chalk Outlines as a duet. Although this is live compared to Chalk Outlines as a video, but all the same, I mean, it might as well have been alive. But there's something about the wavelength that they're on together here, and singing as one person in harmony, and they've both got quite different voices, but they float in and out together, no friction, and the lyrics just, yeah, so visual, so strong, and just so deep and meaningful as well. And that's one of the things that always attracts me to Ren's music and to Chinchilla's, definitely more recently as well. And I can really see how they complement each other with their different talents, but coming together. It's like they're like a superpower. They really are. I think one of the things that stood out for me really in this was that loss of identity and sense of self. I forgot how to be me was one of the lines that they said. And there's a searching going on. Where is my God? Over the hills and valleys below. I know that there can be different interpretations for some of this stuff, but this is kind of how I'm taking it. That someone's kind of broken down so much that they don't know who they are anymore, and they've got no sense of worth or reason for being. They don't know what they're about. They don't know why they exist or why they're here. And in some ways, that lends itself to that final piece that Ren speaks at the end. This song is a telling of what led up to that from Ren's point of view with Chinchilla. I don't know, but there's that there's a sense of loss in this, which I think is building as the song progresses, and then it climaxes with that end there. And yeah, it's really poignant. It's super heavy stuff, this is, and I'd love to hear what you believe this song is about. Let me know in the comments. But as I say, that's my interpretation of this, and it's heavy stuff. And I think it speaks to a lot of people who've gone through different experiences where they feel so low and worthless and devalued. And I think this song speaks to so many of us, and I mean it certainly relates to me in a lot of ways. So thank you, Ren and Chinchilla, for this kind of masterclass of a live performance. Amazing to watch, and I'll be tuning into this one again and again, I'm sure. If there are other songs that you'd like me to take a look at, particularly through a mental health lens, then please do let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, thank you for joining, and I'll look forward to seeing you on the next video. Take care.